Hello. Just checking some audio, seeing if everything sounds okay. Sounds pretty good to me. I turned down the music just a hair. Echo. Testing, testing. Here, is this any better? Check, check. Okay. I think that sounds pretty good. Anyone in chat? Let me know if that sounds good to you. I think it sounds pretty good to me. And yeah, welcome, welcome. Get everything switched over here. So we're back to a bit of coding project I've been working on with Oddly Normal, integrating some different streaming features with some techie gadgets and gizmos. This one in particular is going to be an LED light marquee. It is a matrix LED from Hacker Boxes, and it can do interesting things. I'm going to go ahead and restart it now just so we can see where we're at. Okay. So right now I have it starting out by printing a kind of a welcome message letting us know it's initialized. Then it'll kind of print here in the serial monitor when it connects to Wi-Fi. There we are. And okay, and there we are. So we've got our welcome message and we've got some interesting things. So now basically what's happening is as soon as this starts up, it prints that welcome message and then it immediately starts a web server, connects to the Wi-Fi, then starts a web server, and then it comes down here and it's waiting for a client to connect. And what it's doing is when that client connects, depending on what's in the request, it's going to have an effect on the device. So right now we're trying to look for a request that is get and then includes slash marquee. And when it sees that, it's supposed to take whatever's following that marquee and add that as the message. Now, this probably isn't the best way of going about this. I'm basing a lot of this on just a random tutorial I found. And I did have it sort of working at one point, but anybody has better suggestions, of course, feel free. But for right now, this is what we're working with. So we're going to come over here. And I'm actually just sending a request by visiting that web page in my browser. And it is registering the new client kind of just a bunch of times, but it's not actually doing anything. So I'm going to try. I've had some strange behavior here with using the same tab, so I'm going to try a new tab. Connection reset, which is good. Yeah. So at this point, it is just closing out of the connection and we're never actually getting the request. So I'm going to kind of bring this back a little bit to where we started, which was here. All right, and we're going to reflash this. And essentially, just trying to make some changes as we go to try and get the behavior we want. I've had a few different iterations of this working, but they have always come with a caveat. And I'm not as super familiar in C++ with string manipulation and how to get at specific pieces of the string without knowing ahead of time what the indexes are going to be. So that's been the challenge. Hey Tempest, nice to see ya. This is going to be a lot of code. You seeing all this okay? Okay. Let's take a look here. Okay, let's try. We're going to send the signal. And I think at this point in the code, what's happening is it's getting stuck. So it's waiting for the client to disconnect. And when it does, it actually will print the test message, which should just be the word test. So let's see if that happens. Yeah. So right now it's only sending the message when I close the connection. Obviously that's not ideal. And then it's doing it twice. Let's see if it actually does it again. Okay, this is because we have it in the loop. Client disconnected. Okay, so I actually want to move this part up into the client's right when the client disconnects. And then it'll start looping again, ideally. But the question is, why isn't it getting to this part of the code until I manually close? Why do I have to manually close? Tempest? Any ideas? Okay, well. So, that's exactly the response I expected. So maybe it's because I'm not sending a response on my side of things. Let's try reintroducing this part. Because I had deleted this, or commented it out rather. So if we bring this code back in, since it is the client code, maybe we need it to actually send the response for it to close successfully. And just FYI, Odd is here. She is working on getting some of her audio set up, doing some different configuration. She will be jumping in and out here as we go. Okay, marquee initialized. Why were we stuck? That's interesting. Don't you think that's interesting? Okay, let's try to connect and see what happens. Okay, we're getting the connection. You can see it says new client here, which means we did register. And in my browser, it's just hanging. When I close it, there we go again. Let's see, it should only send it once this time. So we're making progress. There we go. Okay. Okay. We actually are going to modify this to 13 because we want to cut off this little guy here, the slash. And then let's see. Okay. So then we're going to go. What I can't figure out also, I'm going to put the other part aside for a moment. This is the way my scattered brain works. I'm going to come back up here and try to figure out how to chop this down because I really only want it to be showing up to this part, this hello. And I don't want any of this at the end here. So it should be, in theory, it should be taking this number and then it should be only making it as long as the index to the HTTP part minus the index of that plus 13, which should be correct, but it's definitely not. So let's just try making this just a number. Let's just say 10. Let's just try 10. A chat. Let's see what impact this is going to have. My style is a lot more. Let's just see what happens. We're just gonna see how it goes. All right. Every time I see that message, 10 seems good. Yeah. Just a kind of. It's literally an arbitrary number, a magic number, some might say. All right. So let's see. We're gonna have to do the same thing as before and manually enter the. And then disconnect from it, and we will get. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Huh. Anybody else see that one coming? Okay, I need to look more into substrings, I think. Substrings have always confused me in C++. I come from more Python kind of background, and so extract 2 characters. So from index 3, get index 2. Characters 9 through 11. So this is definitely not correct any longer. We're going to get rid of that. Okay, so it starts at request. So let's go back to 12. Or let's see what that looks like again. And this time let's try, I don't know. What is it even showing me right now? EE, client disconnected. Okay, so let's make this a bit bigger. Where in here is there even an EE? Okay, let's just print also. Let's come in here. We're going to add a serial dot print. We're going to print header. And let's just print the entire header. And then we'll do serial dot print. And we're going to do header. And we're just going to see what happens with that. While it's compiling, I'm going to clear out some of this input in the serial monitor, and we're going to reflash here. That EE is really throwing me, though. It shouldn't, I feel like it shouldn't have done that. Marquee. Initialized. All right, you can see we're connecting to Wi-Fi. We've got our IP address for the server. Everything is running. And then it waits. So let's try to visit that IP with the correct URL sequence and then exit. Well, that's just fascinating, isn't it? Current header. All right, so we are getting the header, which is all of it. Header equals get. So we want to stop it where we get to. So we're only looking for this portion. So what we're trying to do is pull this out. But where is this EE coming from? Let me know if you guys see any letter EE repeating in this. Oh, that's a good question. EE. Will it show in the console though? I don't know if it will. The real question too is why isn't it showing 10 characters? So let's try this. Okay, let's see what happens if we just do 13, comma 13. We're just going to do some arbitrary stuff just to get a sense of the code and how it's impacting the actual operation of the device. We'll go ahead and clear that. All right, Q Wi-Fi, beautiful. Got our IP, listening for signals. And sending my request. Okay, well, that didn't give us anything. Okay, so what is our header? Current header. Get marquee. So let's just try 0 and do 13. Let's try that. And we'll see what impact this has. And clear this. Wi-Fi connected. We're gonna have to make a dance out of this or something. Okay, let's send our request. And close. All right, so now we're get slash marquee. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so now we're getting at this part right here. So of this entire request, which this is the whole header, all of this is the header, which feels like a lot, right? But we need, so now we're getting this part, which is basically the exact part we don't need. So we want to go from 13, maybe let's try 12. And we want to, so this is the starting point and this is the length. So right now we just want to get hello. So let's just try inputting 5. Let's just try 5. Let's just try 5. I think what might be happening is that we might be hitting the next line of the request with those other numbers we've tried. And I think that might be making it so that it skips out of the function and breaks before it actually writes anything. Best I can figure. Okay. So we're going to send our request. I'm going to have to start using my terminal because this is kind of annoying. Okay, so now we got marquee. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Why are we getting 7 characters? Does anybody else find that confusing? part of this. Why is it doing 7? Okay, so is it counting? Okay, so that is odd, right? I feel that's good. That's funny. All right, so right now we're getting marquee. Well, marquee isn't what we want. We want let's see what happens if we just okay, so substring. Substring is welcome. Welcome to. So let's try to do this. Header substring. So okay. So if we were doing string.substring 3 comma 2, it would be the third index and return 2 characters, and that puts out the last 2 characters in this case. Let's also print, I guess, at this point. Above current header, we're going to have it print serial. We're going to have it print current request. And we'll have it print we're going to have it print the actual value of request. Because I don't really understand why it's behaving differently every time I reload it. But like most things in code, I'm sure it's doing exactly what I'm telling it to do. It's just not doing what I expect it to do because I'm telling it wrong. Okay. I might have to switch back over to the other problem for a minute because now it's getting in the way of my testing this one. Like, why wouldn't it disconnect? Why does it just stay connected? Okay, hello, HTTP slash lots of stuff. Oh yeah, there it goes. Okay, bye, hello. All right, so we're printing the whole thing. Okay, so we've got header plus equals C. So after all of this, but still inside, see, I feel like this should be inside if client available, which means there are unlocked. So it should be inside this one. See, that's what I think. I'm going to try to move this. Do a little formatting there. We'll see if this gives us the same result. Hopefully it will, except the only difference should be, oh yeah? The only difference should be that this time it shouldn't make us close the connection ourselves. It should automatically accept the request, close the connection, and then not just hang. Whoa. Well, that doesn't look good, huh? Not at all. Okay, we're going to undo that. All right. Let's just try put a break there. And okay, sounds like Odd's getting ready to test something out. May not be joining us just yet. We'll keep our ears open. In the meantime, let's go ahead and compile this. All right. Here we go. All right. This is looking good so far. I mean, it didn't completely break. Okay. Well, it's not giving us anything, but at least it didn't continuously reset. Oh yeah, it did actually. So the while never breaks. Let's try putting a return here instead. Does that work? Again, I'm not super familiar with C++, so I feel like if I was doing this in Python, it'd be done already, but that's the point of learning a new language. It's all about the context. Okay, here we go again. Let's see. Still not doing what we expect, is it? Oh my. Alright. Let's try that one more time. Why so many requests? Why is that happening? Okay, let's take this back to where it was. Put this request back in here. Alright, let's clear. Let's re-upload. It's iterative. Okay. There we go. All right. Also, kind of trying to figure out why it started not clearing that text immediately, but we'll see. Hello. All right, so we're back to this. Okay, well, current message. Okay, so let's see. Current request is 0. All right. So where is our current message? Current message is 13, comma. See, this substring says end index, and that makes way more sense to me. Why was it saying length in the documentation I was finding elsewhere? Okay, so that's actually great, because this means we can do since we know where it will always start with the rest at 13, then we can just take this part of the code, which finds the index of a certain thing in the message. And in this one, we want to just get the first time that it says HTTP right there at the top, because that will be the end of our message. So this will search for the first time that occurs, and that will make this the number associated with that position in the message. So in theory, this should at least get it printing the part of the message that we want. Then we can work on the other part, which is, trying to figure out why it's doing all the weird connection stuff. So let me clear this output here on the monitor, and let's see what's happening. Marquee initialized. All right. Now let's try entering our request. And still have to close it. Hello. Hey. All right. So we've got it chopped down to the part we want. Okay. So that part is working. Hello. Now, and disconnected. It only connected one time. Everything's looking good. Okay. But why do we have to manually disconnect it? That should not be the case. It should disconnect once it has received all of the data. Okay, so where is that happening? Client stop. So I feel like that should happen. So I feel like we just need to move this inside of this. Didn't we already try this though? I feel like we already tried this. But let's go ahead and give it a try. Maybe we need to put a break in here. We'll see what it does. All right, here we go. We're testing again. All right, so still working, still not exiting. Okay, so if client is available, checks if there are unread characters from the request. So must be something to do with the way it's reading. So we're going to just add a series of serial prints in here. Now we don't need the full header anymore, so I'm going to have it stop printing that whole thing because that is a lot. But we'll just comment it out. Current message, we can leave that part. That's fine. And we actually want to do print line, so that adds a new line after the end. And then we don't need this either. Okay. So we break out of this one and then we end up in this one. So there must still be if client. So let's go ahead and just pull this whole thing back out. Let's leave the break. Let's add this back in out here. And then let's do another break. Let's try that. Break is not within a loop. Okay, so this one we don't need. Let's just return. How about that? Because ultimately, we want it to end, close the thing and end, and then go into the scrolling text. Wow. All right, let's try this. We're going to try sending our hello message once again. Same as before. Only sends the message when we disconnect. Why would that be happening? It's a mystery. It's a mystery, folks. Okay, hello, client disconnected. So it does actually do the disconnection, but does it do that before? Let's try it one more time. Let's clear everything. Fresh request here. All right, new client. So it's stuck. All right, so it gets stuck in the current message, so it doesn't ever get to this part. Okay, so we just need to see where it's getting stopped. So let's do, we're going to go kind of a series of if statements. So after this first if available, we're going to do a serial. And we'll print the number 1. And then after the, inside this if, we'll do a number 2. inside this if we'll do a number 3. And then inside this one, we'll do a number 4. And then we'll do a number 5 here. All right, we'll see where it's actually getting stopped. That might help us kind of figure out what's going on here. Whoops, all my print statements were messed up. I just typed printl. Printl is not a function in C++, or as far as I know, in any programming language for that matter. Println. That was a silly mistake, y'all. Silly mistake. There we go. Let's try flash this one more time. Okay, we've got the marquee initialized. Looking super good. All right, let's send our connection. And I'm excited to see where the breakdown is. Oh, this is very interesting indeed. Okay, let's try close it. So then we get number 5. Okay, that's good. Okay, let's clear this one more time. We're going to send a new request. We're going to try a different message. We're going to try send. Is this working? Still sent hello. Isn't that interesting? So it's running a bunch of code when we're sending a request. Okay, so here's what's happening. We're going 1 4 1 1. So then it's reading and it's going to number 4. 1 4 1 4 1 4. So that means it's printing each of those lines and it's going through. Okay, so this is exactly what we'd expect as it's copying the request into the variable. So then after all those 1 4s, it goes 1, and then it goes 2. So where is the 2? So then it reaches a new line, and then it reaches a new line again. And that's where it's supposed to break. If current line length equals 0. So it never actually reaches the number 3. This is our problem. But I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think we need that one. So let's try taking that out. We're going to have to remove. One of these. Let's try that one. All right, let's see if that works. We'll see what this does for us. Yeah, I was afraid of that. Okay. Yes, we're aware. Thank you. All right, so let's say Yeah. I don't hear any audio. I'm just gonna kind of. We're gonna just try to get rid of this and see what happens if we completely remove that conditional. And let's try it. And every time we do this, we're learning a little bit more about how this whole thing works so that hopefully we can just ditch all of this reused example code and write our own from scratch. Wouldn't that be ideal? Hello. 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 Okay, so it printed it twice. That's interesting. Twice, but only twice. What's up with that, chat? Not at all. Okay, this is good. This is good. Is it working? It is. But why did it print twice? That's a good question, isn't it? All right, let's try one more time. Maybe just a glitch because we had the web page open at the time we loaded it. So let's just try with a totally new. Big test. Big test. Does it do it again? It did not do it again. It only did it the one time. Okay, so it was just a weird glitch. Okay, so now we just need a way of handling those spaces. And I think we should be well on our way. Okay. So how are we going to do the space? How do we use substring replace? Is there a thing for that? Let's find out. C++ substring replace. Okay. So I could do it with regex. String.replace. Maybe it works. Maybe. I'm doing my best. I'm just kind of floundering over here. String is the base string. So what we want to do here then would be, okay, so one potential option that we have for doing this would be to take the current message as it is here, and then do current message, which is a string, dot, and we're going to do replace, and then we want to do current message dot find, and what we're searching for, which is %20. It's the URL encoding for the space character, and then we want to replace that string2.length and we're going to call that just 3. And then we want to do okay. So string.find, so this one. Okay, comma 3. So %20, comma 3, comma, and then we want to replace that with a space. Okay, let's see if that works. Big test, yo. Big test. Class string has no method find. Well, isn't that special? So that does not work. Standard. So my thing did not work. So I suppose we could use the boost string algorithms. Apparently. Some people say that that's overkill. Do I agree? I have no idea. Alright, string replace.
Okay. Well, if this doesn't work, then I don't know. I'm just gonna, I guess, turn on Bluetooth and sit and hang out with you anyway.
Okay, sounds good. Alright. Odds doing a couple more tests and then she's gonna join us, I think. So let's try the regex way before we go into some crazy libraries, shall we? Um, regex replace. Okay, so we're gonna do the current message. We're gonna use this to input the string we want to search for, which in this case is %20. And then we want to do another comma. And then we're going to replace that with the space character. Okay, we'll try this first. Does regex work? Regex replace is not a member. Okay, does not work. All right, so let's try boost. We're going to try a new library called boost. Why not? And where's my code that I'm looking for? Current message. Okay, let's try. Let's see. Let's make sure that it actually finds this library. No such file. Let's see if we can find it here in the library manager. We shall see. Nope. Okay. Well, I'm at a loss then. I guess one other. Okay. Input string modified. Hmm. Well, I need to take a momentary break. So let's sit. Let's think about this, and I'll be right back. All right, actually, we're getting a knock. We're getting a knock. We're gonna accept the knock, cause that's what we do. Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Wait. Hello. Can you hear me? I cannot hear you. It says your audio is not enabled in the. You have to allow it. No. No. I can hear you from the other room. I cannot hear you over the call. I cannot. No. Okay.
Oh, can you hear me? You can hear me now? Yes? Or is it because you're
Oh,
came in the
I
room?
came in the room. Hold on.
I'm so sorry.
It, you might have to go back to your stream collab thing. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Go back to your stream collab thing. On mine, I had to actually allow the microphone this time. There you go. I can hear you. Not at all. I can hear you. Percy, can you hear your mom?
Okay. I think I got it. I'm going to share chat. So pay more attention to what we're doing here because I have been troubleshooting the entire time. So it's nice to be.
Okay, do we have a crazy echo now?
Are you sharing my sound?
No, but I have my microphone on as well. And I just am curious with us sitting back to back like this, does it
Yeah,
actually?
I do actually hear you. I think here, I can maybe mute me. Does that work?
Oh, you don't need to mute you. I'm actually curious to see if there is an echo if we're both on. I don't have a shared chat though.
I have a way to test it.
Yeah, unless Percy is there. I guess that.
Hey, Percy, do we have a crazy echo on either of our streams now?
If you're
Sorry to
available.
wake you up again, but I'm going to.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, I guess we need to keep talking. We're doing that thing.
We're doing the thing that I do.
Test the audio, and then we just sit here really
Yeah,
quietly.
we can
Yay,
just
that's
to,
nice.
this is us both talking, having to see if
Both
there's an
talking at the
echo
same time. So
and
if there's a crazy echo,
making sure that there's no
it's not
crazy echo,
otherwise,
and
I
that
guess
way,
we're probably good to go.
yeah, I think so. Sounds good. Okay, well, that's great. So we can both talk.
Excellent. Oh, that's nice.
Like,
Okay.
there's a slight echo from you from the collab screen, but it doesn't bother me that much.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I'm not sure.
But I don't think it's coming through on stream. I think it's just between us two,
Okay.
the echo.
Well, then I can do it.
I can also deal with it because that is good.
All right. Back
So,
Okay, so it looks like you are slightly stuck.
yeah, so I'm stuck. I'm trying to figure out how to. Okay, so the part we're at right now is I'm going to clear this. So I'm trying to figure out how I can integrate spaces. Wonder if I need to try sending it with. Let's try this. What happens if I put it in quotes? Yeah. So, yeah, basically I just need to figure out how to URL unencode. Wait, wait, that's not right. How to unencode the URL encoding on the before it prints to the screen.
Okay. So you need to decode.
Yeah, I need to decode it. But mostly I just need to replace the part that says, %20 with the space. So I'm just trying to figure out how to do like a find and replace or something of the like, where anytime it finds that string of %20 in the message text, that it will delete that and then replace it with a space. So I'm looking that up. I'm not finding a whole lot.
Okay. I might actually have to come over.
Yeah.
Okay. Honestly, I'm trying not to talk that much, but I actually can't come over and look. I just realized because I'm big.
Ah,
Uh, so
gotcha.
now I can zoom in a little though if you can scroll and show me what you're doing.
Let me close this a bit. And so right here is where we have current message. And currently, if I was to send a new request, like say I wanted to send this is hi odd with an exclamation point.
Okay.
And so we just need to get rid of this and replace it with a space. And then we're done, basically.
Okay.
Although I guess we don't really need to do this if you want it to just print the thanks for following username, because then we could just have it print the username only and send that from Streamerbot, and there won't be any spaces because there aren't any spaces in the username. So if you want to just do that, we're done.
Okay. So essentially, you just needed to be able to grab the from Twitch, essentially, like whoever interacts with it.
Right.
Okay.
And then I can give you the and for right now we'll just use the IP address, but yeah, in theory you could set up Streamerbot right now, and if you had it send the request to the proper URL, it would function correctly. But I don't know how we test with a follow.
I think we can test it with Streamerbot.
That would be excellent.
Um, so can you see my screen now?
I can.
Okay. Okay. So what do you want me to call the action? Just direct me a little bit. What do you want me to do here?
Okay, so you can call it follow marquee or um, yeah, maybe. That's fine. That's good.
let's make a new. Okay. And then the trigger.
The trigger will be new follow.
Slow down.
Okay. And then sub actions would be,
I need to get
yep,
the latest follow.
yep. And then,
Not random. Just what that does. It's probably random. Follow.
okay. And then, yeah, we want that. And then also the fetch or the URL. I think it's in core, maybe network. Yeah. All right. And then, no, it's fine. It's 192.168.50.147, port 1337.
Is that colon?
Yeah.
Okay. 1337.
Yep.
Adorable. Okay.
Slash marquee, and then slash that variable name or that variable that however you get the username in there.
Oh, not really sure.
Yeah. I mean, you could save it as that for now. You could just save it as
follow.
mhm. So yeah, if I don't know, does it give you a way of calling that get latest Twitch follow? I'm wondering if there's a way we can like call it like with a dollar sign or something. You know what I mean? Like if you were gonna have it send a message like "Thanks for following blank," it would be the same thing, right? You would have to somehow call. Yeah.
I understand.
Okay.
I just don't know how to do it.
I gotcha.
And I'm not confused on what you're saying. I'm looking for a way to.
I understand. That's fine. No rush.
It's obviously a way to use it. You know?
Mm-hmm. I definitely.
Like, what does it do by default? Is kind of the question.
Yeah. Or maybe the get. Maybe you just have to do the get after. Hmm. Yeah, I don't really know.
I'm gonna go back to yo. Very cool.
So we're at that point.
um, So we've got, oh, wonderful. We have documentation, folks. Here we are. Okay, so we want latest follower user because we want their display name, right?
Right.
So yeah, latest follower user is the variable name.
Okay. So you get it, and then you can call it after you've gotten it, right? Is that the idea?
I would guess.
I would also guess.
Yeah. That's something. Which I'm not sure how to put these things together. I'm used to just coding.
Right. I would just say put it up there in the top, right there. Yeah, just paste it right there. Maybe. It did not.
I don't know if the test trigger even works.
No, it did not.
I meant I don't know if it actually works in general. Like, okay,
I don't think it. Well, I don't. It definitely didn't send the username. Um, but if you try it one more time, can you? Like, are you saying you don't know if the test button actually does a test? Is that what you're saying?
general.
I gotcha.
Yes, I said it twice. So
Yeah, it doesn't give you any indication. I take it.
no. Simulate event.
Yeah.
It just says it does the normal message, but it didn't do the.
Thanks for the follow.
Hold on.
All right.
Okay. Well, it is simulating a follow, so this part is just not working.
Okay.
But it is showing up in my chat.
Yeah. Do you have it set to do that?
Yes.
Okay.
There is another follower alert that just says thanks for the follow,
Gotcha.
which I want it to say in the.
Right. Right.
So I was setting up a separate one for monkey.
Okay.
Okay. This is really cool though. Like it's fun to figure out and kind of try and troubleshoot.
Oh, percent user percent right there.
Okay, instead of latest follower.
Yeah, instead of all of that, just
Slash user percent user slash percent user percent.
that is my understanding. But give it a moment.
See it. I have the technology.
Mhm.
Climate disconnect.
And now the Wi-Fi should pop up, and boom, it is ready.
Really, really cool.
I know.
All right, simulate event. Ready?
Yep.
So is it just not going to do both? Is that what it is? I can deactivate this for right now. Let's see.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Well, so do we still need to get latest Twitch follower?
Yeah, so with the thread I found, it says you need to, as your first sub action, you would get uh
That, okay. I'm just going to turn my mic on.
oh, okay. Um okay. So we need to figure out, that's a gift subscription, so triggers. Triggers, we need like a follow. Why is it taking me to ads? Triggers, we want to search for follow. Channel follow. Okay. Twitch user. Yeah, so it should be user. Yeah, it should be percent user percent. Hmm. Yeah, that really should be working.
Did I type something wrong?
Let's make sure. 192.168.50.147 colon 1337 slash marquee slash headers. Yeah, see, I think we just need to generally look up how you do this in Streamerbot ever for anything. And then we'll maybe understand how to do it. But something about the way we're calling it doesn't seem to be working. Um, those are broadcasts, so we want the Twitch user.
Yeah.
Which is what we want, right?
Right.
So really, we just need to know how to call it, which they said was like how to call it in a sub action, I guess. I know. We need to know how to call variable and Streamerbot sub action. And it's what's it called? A fetch?
Is what?
Fetch URL.
Yeah.
Stop trying to make fetch a thing. Okay. Hmm. So it doesn't seem okay. Sub actions. What is it, when you click on sub actions to open that fetch URL, what do you see? What does it say exactly?
This is what
The
we've been looking
URL.
at the whole time.
Yeah, yeah, no, I just wanted to see if it said you anything other than just URL.
No. That's why I was wondering if we needed to put the like key value pair the main value header.
So my understanding is that that's actually the variable it stores the response
Okay.
in that spot.
Okay. Well, mostly, I guess I'm having a bit of a struggle with just how we call it because I'm just not seeing it.
Yeah, me neither. um, I wish there was like a simpler. All right, so Streamerbot, ooh, documentation, sub actions.
You sure it's percent?
That's what people on Reddit said. Music is a teeny bit loud. Is that on is that on odds on your mom's one? Uh,
Thank you.
very nice, very helpful.
I appreciate that. Is my mic audio still sound good, or do I need to turn that up? There we go. Yay. Okay. Cool. Okay. Did that work? Uh, well, I thought this would be the most challenging part of the night.
Okay, set argument.
Maybe I need to. I was going to say maybe I need to set the variable
so so what I found is that there's another sub action that you can run before this one that's called set argument. It is in core arguments,
Okay. So,
and then
wonderful. Okay, let me share this. That's really cool. Okay. So this is. Can you see this? Okay. Set variable name. Okay. What do we want to set this as?
so new follower or something.
Uh, what was the one we already used?
Uh,
Set that up.
uh,
We already gave it. Recent follow.
yeah, but we can't use that one because we're already using it. That's a different. That's going to store the response.
Aha. Gotcha. Okay.
So we could change that one, and fetch to something else.
Okay. Hyphen one.
Yeah, hyphen's good.
Value.
And then percent user percent, and say okay. There you go.
Like so.
Yep. And then in fetch URL, instead of percent user percent at the end, do percent. It doesn't really make sense though, does it? Oh, yeah, okay, so hmm. Set streamer.
Now that worked when I used it in the trigger. When I used it in the sub action for the follow.
Okay.
So that's cool. But this doesn't make sense.
No, yeah, let's get rid of that. I don't think we need it.
Because I think what it wants is the actual like.
It was in subactions core. Huh. Actions, maybe? Or arguments. What is arguments? Set argument. Which one are you looking for?
Okay. Just can I? Do you mind? Thank you. So this is the actual variable. This latest follow dot user. So I'm just curious why
Yeah.
it gives that.
Try do that.
Try where?
And then do not there, but do it in value. Yeah. Do it in value. And then say okay. And then there say new follower in the parentheses.
Parentheses.
Yeah.
What?
Instead of in percentage. Yeah, I do. I do mean that.
Okay. Sorry.
It is. It is indeed.
Sorry. Do you follow?
Yeah, or however we did it. New follow.
Sorry.
Okay.
Figured it out. Okay. Let's try. Random person.
Okay. Well, at least that part worked.
Yeah. It just used me, I guess.
It didn't just say thanks for the follow. It actually, yeah.
Well,
Right.
I already had that working.
Right.
Anyway. So,
Okay. So it's, and I will test this again just to make sure.
okay.
Hmm. So,
Maybe we did this backwards.
it's possible. I don't think so. Yeah, I really don't.
I really don't either, but I've been not having it installed. Hello, Joe.
Yes.
Did you do that?
Yes.
Okay. What, do I need to be waiting or?
No, you can go ahead. I was just making sure that that was my side wasn't broken over here.
Okay.
This is working.
All right. So. Okay.
Does it show in your little history log that it's actually sending the URL? Is there a way to see that?
There is some. What is that? Action history. So it is saying it's.
If you open it, does it show what request it sent?
The last one was it. This is just a weird
1211.
story now. Okay, this most recent one. So it says completed.
Right. Does it? If you double click on it, does it show exactly what was sent and stuff? Yeah.
Oh, that's just cool. Okay, I don't know anything that's.
Okay, so if you scroll down on that,
Thanks.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But why is it saying that we queued this action? Oh, 12, 11.
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay.
So this is more of like the variables for it, not the request itself. I was looking for more of like what URL did it actually go to? Like what did it what HTTP request did it
Well,
send?
this is like the actual latest follower username.
Uh-huh. Right. I understand. Um I don't suppose there's any way we can find what it actually sent through the GET request when it ran that command. Hmm.
Unless you're code for Watershare or something.
Yeah.
No, wait, yeah, what is this? So maybe it's because we have too many sub actions.
Shouldn't matter. Yeah. I mean, I just don't know enough about Streamerbot and how it works to really know.
That's what we're doing. Let's try and figure it out.
Yeah.
So. I just wish the documentation was like, this is a single example.
Yeah. Me too. Variables. Hmm.
Uh,
So in the one that you did for your chat where it actually worked, how is that different than the like what does that look like compared to the fetch URL one?
compared to the one that actually
Yeah.
worked, this just uses that user.
Can
I
you
don't
open
even know if that one works. Hold on. Let me make sure it's still. Yeah.
Okay, can you open the sub action for me? So that's just in the message. So I'm thinking it's because that what we're trying to do is not like in the message, it's in this other box. You know, it's up at the top there. For some reason, it's not actually doing the replacement for the variable. Actions. Hmm.
Okay, I'm back on your screen. I'm not sure.
I'm also not sure. Triggers. Doesn't seem to be letting me actually even go to the documentation for the variables. That's funny. Error. Page not found. 404. The variables docs.streamer.bot/guide/variables is not found. That's kind of wild. Or is it just my internet? Did I lose internet? No? Yeah, I'm not sure all of the documentation now is pulling up a 404 for me. Other pages are working, so I'm not sure what the deal is. Are you having any trouble with it?
No,
Gotcha.
okay.
I don't know either.
Yeah, it's like they're updating it currently or something.
I guess so, yeah. Are you also having trouble loading it? That's wild.
It's also, yeah, it's starting to block me. What the heck?
I guess they're in the process of an update. I mean, I guess it is just after midnight, so.
Well, come on.
That.
That, though. Really? Really do that? Come on. That's so crazy.
That is crazy.
I refuse to accept. Okay, well, I don't know. I mean, we can try to just keep poking at it in the documentation. Which, you know.
It's kind of feeling. It's kind of feeling like we're gonna need to actually. I don't know. I don't think we can actually include it. We might need to create our own C# script.
Yeah. Well, I haven't really looked much into that.
Me neither.
I'm so
Me too.
what's going on. It's like they're only updating that.
So
So weird that it works when I just put it in to a string of text. Yeah.
mhm.
Oh, you know what?
What?
Is it question mark user and not slash user?
It shouldn't be. For not for my thing. Just try this. Let's try this. If you leave it the way it was, just go to a web browser and actually just try to visit that link. If it works, it should work from your browser. It won't do anything. Oh, yep, it did work.
Interesting.
So now it's actually gonna say, watch.
That's interesting though. Why is that working?
Yeah.
Is it this?
So why is that working? Well, because it's not actually um, going to that URL for some reason. It'll take a moment. It's gonna.
Did it work? Should I try again?
Yeah, try again.
That does not seem to work. I don't know. Okay.
I'm glad that it's working from your computer because that means that in concept, everything but this part is working.
Right. Well.
We're well, we started out with none of it working, so including including the streaming. So all of this is progress. I'm gonna reset on my side so that we can get a better test.
Okay, I've changed stuff, so what we put like grade one. So variable name, new column, value, latest follower, values.
Okay. Yep.
So this is what it's saying, is that let you set the value of an argument, there are variables, utilities, and other sub actions.
Right.
So
So it's basically creating a new
let's create
variable.
new follow.
Yeah. So now percent new follow percent. So let's try that.
No. I'm just
Hmm.
yeah, it's just not sending. It's just there's no
Yeah. Okay, let me try. Let me have you try just instead of doing a user, just try at the end, just have it send. I mean, because it should be sending that anyway. Yeah, it's just not sending. But we know it was sending it with the lights. Like, because the lights were definitely working, right? Oh, oh, it is working.
I'm silly.
Hold on, let's see what it says.
It's you. Okay, so let me enable these.
You're, wait, that worked?
Looks good so far. Let's see if it gives it a random name. That's what it's supposed to do. It did.
Oh my god.
Although I think this should be new follow and not user.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
So it should be an actual random name.
Look at that.
So yeah.
Nope.
No.
New follow.
Still not certain on that.
I'm pretty sure it's the other way, but
I'm not certain.
same.
Yay! Hi, you're still here.
Hey, did you see?
Okay, so we're getting closer. No. Well, now we got an extra 25.
That's because
Okay.
it's because it's doing the quotation marks. Ha.
Actual names follow. Hey! Alright. Unintentional shout out. Woohoo! Hey, it works. Okay, so we actually did not need this
At all.
at all.
Let's get rid of it.
Okay, so
Hey. Are we the soundtrack of your dreams? Is that good or bad?
okay. Yay.
Oh man,
Okay.
I needed that.
Does that really work?
It works. That's your latest follower. So it is definitely working.
You're gonna learn. No, it didn't give me a random user.
It won't because it's always gonna, the way this is, it's printing your latest follower, but that's what we want it to do because
So, we could do this for a subscriber too.
yeah,
Duplicate.
it's like my brain is providing new context to words. Well, uh, this is radical.
Subscriber.
Yeah. Is it capital? I guess the follower was. Yeah. Awesome.
it still did. Hold on. Did I test the wrong thing? I might have tested the wrong thing. Does it run all the way through the keys?
Yeah, it will.
Okay, so that is not the variable name. Wrong one. Subscriber. Username. I was close.
You were close.
What? Okay.
Hmm. Maybe it doesn't count subscribe like Prime subs as subscribers, so you don't have any.
Maybe. Hmm.
I suppose.
Yeah. Interesting. Because it's supposed to like actually simulate.
Right, but if you do that, so then, but yeah, but so because of the way we're doing it, I understand. Okay, so
Okay.
instead of latest subscriber, just do user, just do percent user percent, because when somebody does actually subscribe, their data is sent as the user variable. That's I think what it's saying. Same for follow, probably. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We might need to reset. I don't know how many are queued up.
Hey, there we go. It's different at least.
Yeah. Oh.
There we go. Sub marquee. So we're just way behind. We've been working the whole time. I just did the wrong one earlier. So yeah. Okay.
You want me to just reset everything?
Hold on. It says there are no pending actions.
Okay.
That should be it.
Okay.
Oh, right. Because I didn't change the trigger. Yeah. That's goofy. So the person was doing exactly what we were telling it to do, as per usual. It was following instructions perfectly fine. It still says following though.
Yeah. That's all I have. That's on my side.
Hey, hey, hey. There it is. Works. Very cool. So how can you change it on your end so that it says the right thing?
Well,
Or you could just say welcome, I guess, instead, so that you don't have to have. Maybe just say welcome.
or thank you.
community or welcome. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
You know,
I can do that.
I don't know. You don't like that, but
I mean, we could. I mean, because then if somebody followed and then subscribed, they'd get welcome twice. But thank
yeah,
you makes sense to me. But if you want, if you'd rather have welcome, that's fine.
yeah.
I like how it stops with the name up. I think that's cool. So it would just stay up until the next thing happens. Okay.
I for one am that
I'm so stoked this is working. Wow, that's a big one.
yeah, it's gigantified it.
You did.
I did. It won't let me use my channel for some reason. It won't let me unlock it for some reason. Yeah, I'm not allowed to do that.
I don't think I have any custom emotes set up yet. Do I? Huh.
Like, it lets me modify it, like with the little like sunglasses. So I think he's very cute. Okay, what are we doing now? That worked.
Woohoo.
Let's see.
Okay. Here we go.
Sweet. Okay.
Now I could actually have it continue to scroll multiple times. Would that be better?
Yeah. I mean, if you want to.
Like wait 5 seconds and then scroll again?
Well, I suppose that does make sense because then, yeah, it is currently scrolling multiple times. No, it's just triggered twice. Okay. So yeah, it looks like you can also change like how you handle the keys as well. Interesting. Yeah, I just still have a lot to learn about Streamerbot. It's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Well, I think this is a pretty successful stream so far.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I think that ought to do it as far as having it just scroll repeatedly in case somebody has a longer username. I'm realizing that that might be a thing. And it would be kind of weird if it just stopped like that, don't you think?
That's why I started using random ones and not just one store.
Yeah, that was a good call. Okay, should be ready. Now it's gonna clear in between.
I'll do following first,
All right.
and then just immediately trigger the subscription and see what happens. It should handle it.
It should. Nice. I put a 3-second delay so that everybody would get at least 3 seconds.
Nice, yeah. Right on.
And I'll add some space to the end of it. But then it should go back to thanks Nightbot. Yep.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
But I don't know if I wanted to do that, because then the last person just gets their name default scrolling over and over
Mm-hmm.
again. Maybe just I like it the way before where it was. I don't know. I kind of like it where you could just see it where their name would stop, and then it would just
Okay.
be like most recent follow.
We can do that. I'll still put the delay in though, just so it doesn't immediately clear you know what I mean? What do you think?
Do you want? You mean on my end?
No, on my end. So like if two people were to follow simultaneously, the first one, or nearly simultaneously, the first one would still stay up there for 3 seconds, and then the next one would go through. It wouldn't like just immediately clear. Yeah. But this has been really good. I'm so stoked. We got this complete thing working. Like it's working. It's doing what we wanted. We're sending it from Streamerbot. Like this in theory would work live on a shared chat even, I think. Did you enable that shared chat thing?
No.
Well, we could do that. But in any case,
I don't remember where I saw it.
so so yeah, then I mean, mission accomplished. Um, feels pretty good. So similarly, we can do a thing with the lights and get those working maybe next time on Maker Monday.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I like that idea.
Because it'll be a very similar process, just in integrating the fast LED instead. So we can work on that for next time, and then yeah, we'll get the lights going with our own custom thing, and maybe work on some MDNS settings so that we can also have it not be just the IP address. But yeah, this was cool. Really, really cool. I'm so glad your sound is working.
It's kind of working. I still have some work to do. I'm figuring it out. It's
Yeah,
all new equipment. So
we're gonna get there.
yeah, I mean,
All right. Well, I think it's about time for a midnight snack. Um,
yeah.
I'm gonna hop off,
Who
but
else is anything salty?
all right, sounds good. All right, well, everybody out there, have a good rest of your night, and yeah, good night.